We're with Paul Zientarski. Paul Zientarski is a PE guru in the world of physical education, and thanks for joining us. He's been retired recently from Naperville Central, from leading that program there in Illinois. Paul, I have a question for you. You've done some work with the Learning Readiness PE program. What steps does a PE teacher need to do before starting an LRPE of their own?
Great question, Dave. It's important for that PE teacher to find a champion that he can work with or she can work with in the academic world. We've been very blessed at Naperville Central to have a number of champion teachers in the academic field that have taken the information that we have about how the brain is activated as a result of exercise, and then take it forward in their classrooms and allow for movement in the classrooms as well. If you then can, with that academic teacher, create data, because data drives decisions, as we well know, that administrators will be able to look at and say, yes, I see that this intervention works. Then it takes a lot of pressure off. It makes it so much easier to convince those in your school setting, administrators, school board members, that this is an intervention that works. So you have to have a champion. For us at Naperville Central, our math department became champions for us. They've done a great job. We started initially with some reading teachers who were good champions as well, and were able to collect great data over the years.
So you have to get more than just the PE program involved. You're getting teachers throughout the school, and specifically math and English teachers. And then, so after that, okay, so let's say we did have those champions, or could they even look at some data from the site and bring that to their administrators? Where do they go from there? Where do they go from that champion stage? Is that, what's your suggestion?
Well, we have data on our website, learningreadinesspe.com, that they could look at that we've created. I think it's more important, though, for schools to gather data that they think is important. We've had schools, however, that have made mistakes in what data or what metric they've used to collect data. You can't look at report cards as a measure of data going forward, because there's so much that goes into report cards. We've had schools who have had this program, say at the freshman level, and then they looked at their students again as juniors. Well, that's too far removed from the intervention. So I think it's important. We use nationwide recognized tests. For in reading, we've used both the Gates-McGinnity test and the Nelson-Denning test, and in math we've used the Algebra Ready test, which has two versions of each, and so you can compare how students do at the beginning, and we've kept our data at the end of a semester so that if it didn't work initially, we were going to tweak it, but we now know it works. And so comparing those two data points as against students who are in the same classrooms but don't have benefit of the exercise before, that, I think, opens up the eyes of local administrators, local school boards. And then it's a lot easier to sell to parents in the community. Look, this is, here's students in our community. It's not some remote school in Illinois that's doing this. It's our community has collected this data, and this is what it shows. The great thing about it is every community who has tried a program similar to ours have had great results. So you don't have to worry about it working or not working. It's going to work as long as your metric is valid.
And we're not talking about it's going to be able to fly the next year. You're talking about a couple-year process, probably.
Oh, it takes a long process. I mean, we had some success with it the first year, and we just did it with reading. The second year we incorporated math as well, and you just need to figure out what works best in your school. The most important part of it is the scheduling, because we know the effect of exercise only lasts about 2 hours. The second year of the study, we had a first hour PE class, and we compared it to a second hour reading class and a 7th hour reading class. Well, the 7th hour, the effect of the exercise wore off. So, and it doesn't matter if it's morning or afternoon where you put this PE class. It's just so that it's in close proximity to those academic classes you're trying to affect.
Thanks, Paul.